Hey guys, Lordbotox here. This is going to be the tutorial for the add-ons tools. It's the most important tutorial that you're going to take because this one controls the rest of all your add-ons. So first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you get it installed. If you've learned how and watched the video on how to install, you should have no problem. You'll have this menu here, and you'll see right here, add-ons tools is installed and it's turned on. Okay. So what it does is it puts this little clock here on the in-game screen, and you can hover over it. I have the tooltips turned on so you can read that. Next to it is a little button that'll turn on a stopwatch. So if you click on this once, it's called the fast button menu, and what this does is it's just a quick, easy access. It's the same thing as opening up the actual menu by double clicking, except this is just like your start menu for the program. It's really fast and easy. Some add-ons will automatically be put in there by themselves. Other ones you'll have to put in there if you want them in there manually. I'll show you how to do that. So yeah, that's the fast button menu by just clicking on it once. If you double click it, it opens up this main one here. It's got some pretty basic settings in it. It's got save settings and load settings. You want to do these. This is for the actual add-on itself. What global is, the best way to explain global is global's like your settings for all the add-ons every time you start or log in. So just think of global as everything. It's the globe. So whenever you save settings to the global, it's saved for good for every time you start up. So say you're turning stuff on and off a couple times, and then you find out which add-ons you want to use constantly. After you're done with that, you just save your settings to global, and then every time you start up, it's basically rule of thumb is, can't stress enough, is save everything to global. But it's not just this one button. This is like the big one. You see when you save this down there, hold on, let me clear the chat. You'll see when it's saved, it marks it in the chat for you. Just wanted to clear that chat box out, so you have whatever chat box you have open is where it'll log it. So you guys see that? Add-on tools saved. Same thing with save settings, it'll tell you in there. So some of the things you can do with this, well, first off, you can move this around. This controls all your add-ons, and this is your in-game one. To turn add-ons on and off, what you do is you hold down the shift key. I use the left shift key, and then you right click on one of them. These are all the add-ons you have installed. The ones that are grayed out are turned off from that previous menu in here. This add-ons menu. That's why they're grayed out in there. If they're grayed out in this menu right here, then you can't turn them on with the add-ons tools. This means they're off for good. The only way to get them to turn on again is to go to this menu. That menu, this actual in-game menu, has the final say. Let's just say like that. That's the master. But this one's more convenient and it's in-game, so that you can see all the ones that we have turned on here. So say I wanted to turn off my auction man, what I'd do is I would just right click as I hold down shift, and you'll see it just blanks right out. I want to turn it back on, hover over it, shift right click, turns it back on. So if I didn't want to use that anymore, but you just go in here, say we wanted to get rid of the DPS meter that we got right here, just shift right click, turn it off. When I'm done, after it's turned off now, you can save all these individually rather than resaving, because let's say you change some of the settings temporarily. Let's say you had a couple add-ons turned off temporarily, but you wanted this one off permanently. Rather than saving all the settings, because like I said, this one saves all of them. This entire add-on, everything gets thrown to the global. If you just wanted to save one individual, the way I always do it, you just go each time you change something. If you want it to stay like that, you right click it. So let's say we turned off the dark DPS meter. We don't want it on. So we turned it off, right click it, You don't have to hold the shift. The shift is only to right click it and turn it on and off. When you're not holding it, if you just right click it regularly, it'll bring up a sub menu. Different add-ons have different sub menus. This is the main one that's standard for a lot of them. The settings here, you can also save settings to global or load your settings for that individual add-on right here. You can clear all the settings for it if you didn't like the way you had it set up. The lock D&D, that you can just left click on it once to turn the drag and drop off. I don't know why that's on, but you just leave them off because we have that other add-on over there on the right hand side that shows you how to turn them all on and off and lock everything. Show button, don't worry about it. This one at the bottom though, this is the one that puts us in that fast menu that we had in the beginning. If you want that, click that, just left click it and it'll come on. And that way, if you wanted to get to it, it'll be right up here. Well, let's get out of this. Now you see that the dark DPS meter is available right here, and we can right click it right here and do the same thing. So if we just didn't want it there, we can just right click it right from this menu, turn it off, and you'll see that it's gone. So you got the basics here to how to turn them all on and off and save the settings individually to global, or save them right here to global. Some add-ons here that we have, when they turn on, they have different menus. Like they don't have that standard menu like you'll see here with the ship control. I just left clicked that. This is a different, it's got its own menu here. So you'll see with each individual add-on, some of them have them, some of them don't. Just show you another example here. The enhanced action panel has its own different kind, and you'll see each add-on that I think's worth talking about. I'll have a video that'll show you how it works in those different menus. But I just want you to know if you see a different one, it's not out of the ordinary, but it's like the same thing. To get that, but those other menus like Loot Manager, you get them just by clicking on it with the left click. If you want to get that standard one instead, you just go up to it and right click. By right clicking, you're getting that standard just to go and save stuff. If you went and clicked on it the other way with the left click, you can see you get its other menu. So there's two menus that we learned from each, not all of them, but some of the add-ons. Most of them that do have the icons, they're made by the same guy that makes these tools. So if we were done with everything, we'd save settings. Anything else that we wanted to do here, I'll show you about the parameters. This is the options for this actual add-on, the addons tools. You'll see that yours probably looks different after you installed it. You can make yours look like this just by changing. First thing right here is the time zone offset. You just click on it and enter a number. For Eastern Standard Time, for US, for me it was -5. So you can go off that. You see with the tooltip right there, it says. The other thing right here is the global D&D lock. If you check this, all the add-ons will totally lock down. You won't be able to move them. So that's one way to lock all of them down for moving anymore. But if you wanted to move something by accident, or you needed to move something, it's kind of a pain. That's why I don't use this one, because you got to go into a couple menus. When on the other way that we have it with the regular one, we just have this little A&O locker here. We can just click that on and off. But that's here nor there. Back to this menu. So the parameters menu. How to change it, the skins right here, the button textures, they have a list of different textures, and that's for all these buttons that you're actually looking at. Changed them green. See, they all turn green now. The color, you can change the color. So you got the texture for the buttons and then the color for them. Another thing you can do here is the whole frame itself. You can see you can change the frame of it to something else if you wanted it like more clear. Change it like that. Change it to whatever you want, and then you can also change the colors. So I'm going to leave mine where I had it there. List of textures just gives you a list of different textures that were loaded in the database. You drag it down. So you can see these are all just different icons and whatnot they have for them. Don't worry about that. And you notice how I'm getting rid of these. There's no X's for these windows. The way to get them to go away is just move your mouse out of it, and then you go down to the next layer. So, got everything saved there. The fast button skin, these bottom two that are for the texture for the buttons and the color, is for this last menu right here. So if we wanted to change those buttons, we can change them right there on that. The other thing that you can do here, sometimes it's buggy, but you see how it says press enter to send data. If you wanted to like show everybody all the add-ons that you have installed in your computer, a way to do that is before you even click on this button, hit the enter key and open it up. And it doesn't matter whatever chat you have it ready to go to. So if you had it in guild chat, it'll go in there. Once the chat bar is open, just left click on this, and now you see that it says press enter. Hit the enter key, and then you'll see, you can see it popped up right there on the main. You can see all the different add-ons, and it says it right there, and it loads them all so people can see them. That's one thing. I don't, if you wanted to, not a lot of people do it, but that's just something you can do with it. The localization here is to change the to English or Russian or whatever language you want. The other is you for reloading the user add-ons. Say one's getting glitchy or something, like sometimes the Power Auras add-on, they'll just disappear for some reason. It's a beta, but it's always been like that, even though it works really well. If you wanted to fix it real quick, just go up, reload user add-ons, rather than having to go, because you can do it like that. Now they're all reset. The other way you can do it is going into this menu and then either disabling all of them, which I don't recommend because that takes a lot longer, or finding the individual one and then clicking this button. But for me, the easiest way to do it, just go up here, reload user add-ons, and you're done. Then the last thing for this is show system add-ons. If you double click this, these are the options that are actually in the game, but they call them add-ons. So like the actual like nameplates that we have in the mini map, this is where you can turn all of them on and off, and certain add-ons that you install will automatically turn the game ones off. So let's grab this here. So now you can see, like, you see how cast bar is turned off. There's different options. You leave it on self. The on, that was because I was messing with it before, but you want to just turn it on, you have it on self. Same thing, shift right click to turn it back on and off, and shift right click to turn them off. The cast bar is turned off because I have another add-on installed right here where you'll see, which is the pick cast bar. So because that installed, it automatically turned off the in-game one. Whoops. Hold on. But you get what I was saying with that. That's not pulling up right now. So that's pretty much everything you can do with add-ons tools. You fool around with it a little bit more, you'll get to see everything, understand that it's an easy way to turn them all on and off. You got an in-game clock menu, and you can drag and drop this clock or anything you else want. You can drag them around the screen if you want, and we'll get into some more add-ons next, but hopefully you learned this video first, because if you can get this one down, you'll understand the rest hopefully. Thanks for watching.